You unlock this door with the key of imagination. Beyond it is another dimension, a dimension of sound, a dimension of sight, a dimension of mind. You're moving into a land of both shadow and substance, of things and ideas. You've just crossed over into the Twilight Zone.
Time to feed the kitty.
I've been feeding it all night.
Yeah, that baby's hungry.
Let's go, boys.
You heard the man. Put in 2 chips.
2 times how many hands? The auntie's eating me alive.
You got some cards coming. I can feel it.
Yeah? That a money-back guarantee?
You pay your money, and you take your chances. Dealer antes.
Let's go, Johnny.
I gotta give it some thought. My stack's getting pretty low.
Look at who's sitting this one out.
That right, Johnny?
I'm thinking.
I know one thing. Takes money to win money.
Yeah.
Listen to the man.
Are you in or out?
Give me 1 minute, all right?
Take it easy, John. Hey, you don't look so good. Maybe you should kick back, watch some TV.
Hey, hold on. I came here to play cards.
Hand me that remote.
Say, what are you...
Just give it to me.
The old fire hall is...
There.
You gonna let one lousy player hang up the game?
Don't worry about it. Johnny here needs some time out. You know the old saying.
What's that?
Money talks, and suckers walk.
Scientists are baffled as all communications in and out of Peaksville remain blocked. For live coverage, our Eyeball News team takes you inside the city limits following this broadcast on the 11 o'clock report.
And that's a wrap of today's news.
I say deal them.
All right, boys, here we go. Down the derby.
Okay already. I'm all in.
You ain't even looked at your cards.
What's the difference? One more hand and I'm out.
Sure, Johnny, maybe you'll double up. I got a good feeling this time.
Me too. I'll see that and I'll raise you.
Raise? Everything I got's in the pot.
Separate side bet.
I fold.
Dealer raises again.
Call.
Cards, John?
3.
Keeping a kicker, huh?
All right, 4.
Come on in!
Who's that?
A friend of mine. Said he'd stop by.
Heck of a time for it.
It's open!
Jody Hallam?
Who wants to know?
Mr. Hallam, will you come with us?
You got a warrant?
No, sir, but...
Then get out of my room. My associates and I are having a friendly game of cards.
This is a federal matter.
We have a car waiting downstairs.
Oh, good for you. You see any money on this table? Because I sure don't.
There's no time to lose, sir.
If you'll just come with us.
Hey, why the cuffs?
Someone wants to see you in Washington.
Be seeing you, Jody.
I'll just hold on to my chips for now.
Let me call my lawyer.
There's no need for that.
What's this all about?
A matter of national security, sir.
You might say a matter of life and death.
Excuse me, gentlemen, if you don't mind. We'll just fast forward out of here.
Hey, will somebody tell me what this is all about?
Winning lottery numbers coming up, but first the news.
In world news, the asteroid known as Wanderer continues on a path toward our solar system. But there's no cause for alarm. Scientists say it will miss Earth by several million miles. Repeat, despite rumors, there is no danger. Wanderer poses no threat to our world. And now, here's a handy household hint from our home economist.
Portrait of a man who has just been granted a reprieve. Not from a card game, because it's a sure bet he would have won, given his considerable skill as a dealer. No, the 2 men in gray suits have saved him from almost certain deaths. His name? Jody Hallam, a gambler and con man who lives by his wits, and wants above all else to go on living. At the moment, the odds still look good for Mr. Hallam, but he is about to discover that the laws of chance don't always apply. in the Twilight Zone.
And now, The Twilight Zone and our story, Pattern for Doomsday, starring Henry Rollins, with Stacy Keach as your narrator.
And I can tell you that its progress has been closely watched for the past month, as is the case with all unidentified objects sighted in space. May we have the slide, please?
Excuse me, General?
Yes?
The eighth man, he's here.
Showman.
Yes, sir.
Has he been briefed?
Just the basics on the way over.
I'll handle it from here.
Mr. Hallam, have a seat at the end of the table.
Well, aren't you going to introduce me to everybody?
After the presentation, General Sinclair has the floor. Sit, please.
Okay.
Now then, slide, please. This is a routine photo from the 200-inch Hale telescope on Mount Palomar.
Must be some camera.
Shh. I don't see anything.
Let me use the pointer. That short white line in the star field is the first picture we have of Wanderer.
May I ask a question?
Dr. Conrad, is it?
Yes. When exactly was this taken?
A little over a month ago. October 3rd, to be exact.
I see.
Next slide. This photograph, taken only 3 weeks ago, indicates that Wanderer is indeed headed for our solar system. Next slide. And this shot conclusively establishes what astronomers feared, that Wanderer is on a collision course with Earth. Next. This picture from 2 days ago allows astronomers to accurately measure Wanderer. It is about 2,000 miles in diameter, a little less than our moon. Can we have the lights, please?
Hey, General, is this on the level?
I wish I could report otherwise. The fact is, the time of collision is now 53 hours and 40 minutes.
Couldn't we blast it with an H-bomb or something? I saw that in a movie one time.
Efforts are underway to destroy or deflect the asteroid, but unfortunately there isn't much hope for success.
General, if, as you say, astronomers have known about it for some time, why is it that the public hasn't been told the truth? To begin evacuating the cities, for example.
To avoid panic. Virtually all heads of state are in agreement. And the damage is projected to be so widespread that there's no longer any point.
But what about us? Why were we dragged here if this thing's gonna hit in a couple of days?
And I thought I was washed up. Now I find out the whole world's done for.
What do you expect us to do, General? Most of us are ordinary citizens.
Mr. President.
Please remain seated. Have you finished your briefing?
I have, sir.
I wanted to meet you all personally. It's a great service you're about to perform for your country and for the world.
I don't like the sound of that.
He's not as tall as he looks on TV.
Please, hold your questions.
That's all right, General. They're about as confused as the rest of us. I'll get to the point. Out of the entire population, you 8 people are among a very few to be made aware of the situation. Let me tell you why.
I can handle that part if you like, Mr. President.
No, they deserve to hear it from me. I'm the one who signed the order. It's taken 10 years for the United States to build its first nuclear-powered spaceship, the Varuna 1. It was intended for the exploration of space. That ship now stands on a launching pad in New Mexico, ready for its first and last mission, that of transporting human life to a new planet, to grow and multiply. To put it simply, you have been selected to represent the future of the human race.
Then we're really in trouble.
You can say that again.
Is he serious?
That's crazy.
Why us?
Know that in you rests the heritage of all humanity. Our prayers go with you. Good luck and Godspeed.
We're really grateful.
Thank you, sir.
Are you the psychologist?
Dr. Russell Conrad, Denver, Colorado.
I'd like to shake all of your hands.
Francie Blaze, Los Angeles. entertain.
Pleased to meet you.
Jody Hallam, Mr. President. I'm from Chicago. I guess you could say I'm a speculator.
I see.
Regina Walsh, Kansas City, Missouri. I'm a singer. Or I was.
Is that right?
D. Clark, Spokane, Washington, bacteriologist.
How do you do?
Philip Jewell, New York City. Mr. President, I'm not sure I approve of all this. I don't understand.
You're Dr. Jewell?
Yes.
I've read several of your books on philosophy.
Thank you. But about what's happening here...
General Sinclair will fill you in on the details, Doctor.
Lily Wong, San Francisco. I am an artist.
Hello.
Harvey Winterroth, Traverse City, Michigan, and just an auto mechanic.
Don't say that. You all have very valuable skills, chosen to complement each other. Believe me, the hopes and aspirations of the world go with each and every one of you. Try to bear that in mind. And now, goodbye, and good luck.
Thank you for taking the time, sir.
Never thought I'd get to meet the president, but there I was, shaking his hand and talking to him.
General, I demand to know...
Yes, Mr. Jewell?
Just how did 8 people get picked to represent the human race?
It was not at random, I assure you. It was a matter of careful selectivity. A computer was programmed with all relevant factors, physiological, psychological...
Who did the programming?
Panel of experts from several disciplines.
Based on what criteria?
General health, adaptability, fertility. That's why you all had examinations. Varied backgrounds, genetic history, immunity to disease, long-term stability on the cellular level.
Out of what sampling?
The entire population, Doctor. At least those we had preliminary data for.
General, how come the president isn't going? He's a very important man. I would have thought...
He's married, which was one of the disqualifying factors. For those of you who are interested, the criteria are listed in the background report. I have copies if you like.
I'd like to see that report.
On the table at the back of the room. There's a packet for each of you.
Look at me. What a mess. I better fix my face.
You look fine.
Don't kid me.
We're not here because of our looks, that's for sure. Must be because we're in such good shape.
Yeah, you're a regular bodybuilder.
I'm serious. Other kids got the measles, but not me. I was always lucky that way.
Goody for you.
Oh, maybe not 100%. But when I lost, it was because someone else was dealing. Man, I sure wised up in a hurry.
A dealer, huh? I can spot one a mile away. Fingers always twitching. Just keep 'em to yourself.
Hey now, baby, I never done anything crooked with these fingers.
I know. You just help the cards along.
The suckers get greedy, that's all. So they get restless and overplay. Is that my fault? Can I help it if they want to make it all in one night? I ask you, who's the smart one, me or them?
You heard what the general said about brains. We'll see how you make out where we're going.
Listen, Jody Hallam always makes out. You remember that.
Just don't try any magic fingers on me.
Ha! Don't flatter yourself. Come on, I want to get the lowdown on this game.
After that, it was all entered into the memory banks. The results were collated and sorted until we had it down to this number.
Ah, so we have a machine to blame for being here.
Blame? You should be happy the machine picked you.
Should I? Then why do I feel as if I'm deserting humanity in its hour of need?
General, how soon will the Varuna leave Earth?
In less than 24 hours. We will all be flown to the launch point.
What about food on the ship?
It will be stocked with bread, soup, meats, even ice cream. In a concentrated form. Enough for a lifetime if necessary. You won't be hungry.
How can I get that much chow on one ship?
It will be made from continuously harvested tanks of chlorella, a fast-growing, single-celled plant.
A plant?
That doesn't sound very palatable.
Hey, General, where are we supposed to land?
There's an area on Mars if we can confirm it's suitable for a small colony.
How about if it's not?
Ship's nuclear power pack can take you all the way to Alpha Centauri if necessary, using a new form of hyperdrive. That's the nearest star system with habitable planets.
Maybe there'll be people there like us. I read a story about a princess on Mars.
Then you can go into your dance and knock their eyes out, if they have eyes.
Who's kidding who? I was never a very good dancer. I was never very good at anything. But I got along because people would pay for it. All that's over with now.
You better believe it.
I'll start over up there. Be me this time. I'll be what I want to be, not what they want me to be.
Right. Keep that attitude.
I have a question. Who's flying us to where we are going?
We've assigned a crew of 2. That should be sufficient. Captain Gerald Vickers and Lieutenant Robert McKenna. You will meet them when... excuse me. Sinclair? Yes. Right away. Limousine is downstairs, ready to take you to the airport.
No calls for us? To say our goodbyes?
I'm sorry, Doctor. We can't risk breaching security. Now, if you'll all come with me, please. You have a great adventure ahead of you. Perhaps the greatest in the history of mankind.
Oh, wow.
Air traffic control, you're cleared to take off.
In position. Clear to start. Made a move, nose job back in front.
Ladies and gentlemen, although the fasten seatbelt sign has been switched off at this time,
I hate that. I really do.
Hate what?
When airplanes take off.
Oh, don't worry about it. The odds are on our side.
Are you serious? This crate could fall out of the sky at any time.
Relax. You got more chance of being hit by a car.
Yeah, sure.
I mean it. You see the giant seal?
What? There ain't no animals. Are there?
The seal of the United States of America. This is some kind of official plane. They're not going to take any chances.
What if we get hijacked?
Now you're really dreaming. We got searched. Nobody could bring a gun in here.
Oh, yeah? What about them?
Who?
The guys up front. With Sinclair. Take a look. They both got pieces under their coats.
How do you know?
I know. You don't think I ever saw a shoulder holster before?
Well, if they got him, it must be okay. Secret Service or something.
A lot of good they can do us now.
Easy, baby. Easy.
Ladies and gentlemen, in a few moments we shall be landing. Thank you.
ID, please.
General Sinclair and Company to operations.
Oh, right, General. Operations is the first building, straight ahead.
I know where operations is, son.
Yes, sir. Open the gate.
Here we are. If you'll just follow the walkway to the entrance.
How do you do, sir?
Good to see you, Cap.
Lieutenant John McKenna, General.
At ease. This is your pilot, Captain Gerald Vickers, and Lieutenant McKenna. Mr. Hallam, Miss Walsh.
Welcome.
Hiya.
Captain, huh?
Miss Blaze, Dr. Conrad.
Hello.
Miss Clark, Dr. Jewell, Miss Wong, Mr. Winteroth.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
You're the pilot?
I'll do my best.
I sure hope you know what you're doing.
Well, there she is.
Where?
Out in the field. Take a good look. That ship's gonna be home for a long time.
It's beautiful.
Wow, some design.
A little small, isn't it?
Not really, Miss Blaze. It's a very efficient design. Just enough room for 8 passengers.
8? Don't you mean...
I'll go over the details in a few minutes. For now, they're expecting us inside. If you'll follow me...
General Sinclair?
What is it?
General, I have a communication from the Pentagon. Priority A.
Very well. That will be all.
Yes, sir.
What is it?
Don't tell me. The flight's overbooked.
You might as well know. The nuclear missiles we sent up from 3 countries to intercept Wanderer have made contact. All detonated on impact.
They hit Wanderer?
And?
Well, don't keep us in suspense.
There was no appreciable deviation. The asteroid is still on course.
What does that mean in plain English?
It means that there's no last great hope for Earth.
I would say then that this group is our hope.
Captain Vickers.
Yes, Doctor.
Something you said a moment ago.
What was that?
Well, you said there was only room for 8 people aboard the ship.
That's right.
Does that include you and Lieutenant McKenna?
I'll answer all your questions at the final briefing.
But...
This way, please. Sit down, if you will.
How many more hours do we have?
When are you going to feed us? I'm a little queasy myself.
In about an hour. We're on a tight schedule.
General, I asked a question outside. I think I deserve an answer. We're 8 people. The captain and the lieutenant make 10. But if the ship will only hold 8...
I have an announcement in that regard. When this group was organized by presidential order, 2 reserves were included.
Who? You mean we're not all going?
Why didn't you tell us the truth?
What are they arguing about?
They got an angle. I knew it.
There was no way of telling if you were all alive and well, or even if you could be located once the selection was made. The reserves were a way of preparing for any contingency. As it turns out, one that didn't occur.
So who are the reserves?
They were not specified.
What?
Then we don't know if we're on the list or not?
In that case, I volunteer to stay behind.
I'm afraid I can't accept your offer, Doctor.
I'll give up my place. I have friends who are going to die. I'd rather spend my last hours with them.
I sympathize with you, Miss Wong, but I can't accept your offer either.
Then how...
It was provided that in a case like this, the matter would be decided by chance.
Leave it to me, General.
Don't make me laugh.
It just so happens I have a deck of cards with me. We'll cut for it. High cards go.
Mr. Hallam.
You want to be fair, don't you? This is the only way. Never fails. Aces and kings, sure winners. After that...
I can't let you do this.
Deuces and trays on the low end. Got it? Everybody, come up one by one and...
We are not using cards, Mr. Hallam. I'm in command here.
Then how? We flip a coin?
Sometimes the old ways are best. We'll draw straws.
Whatever you say, General. Makes it simpler. Watch me. I'm tearing out matches. I'll make 2 of them short.
Sit down, Mr. Hallam.
No matches? Well, in that case...
I said sit down.
All right. Just trying to help.
Captain Vickers has prepared the straws, or their equivalent. Captain?
Yes, sir. I have 8 pencils here. They've already been measured, so there can be no mistake.
Who's first? Miss Blaze?
Why me?
The order won't make a difference. Go ahead, Captain.
Anyone at all.
If you say so. Here goes.
Just take one of the ends and pull it out of my hand.
This looks like a good one.
I'll go next.
Now, Dr. Jewell. Followed by Miss Wong. Mr.
Winterroth from Michigan.
Miss Clark. Miss Walsh. And Mr. Hallam. There. That does it.
Everybody hold them up.
The short ones are Miss Clark and Mr. Hallam. You two will not be going with us.
Hey, wait a minute.
Sit down, Mr. Hallam.
I was the last man on the totem pole. I didn't have a choice.
Someone had to be last.
Sure. Give everybody a break, but me.
Statistically, it doesn't matter. The result was random.
All I'm asking for is a fair shake.
Game over, Mr. Magic Fingers.
But I'm telling you, it ain't fair.
You should talk, honey. Sit down.
Are we free to go?
You are, Miss Clark, with my profound thanks. You may go to the bunker with the rest of the personnel to observe if you like, or I can have you transported any way you choose.
I'll have to think about that.
Of course. There's a rest area down the hall. Lieutenant McKenna will open the beverage machines for you.
Thank you.
And goodbye to you, Mr. Hallam.
And thank you, Mr. Hallam.
Yeah, thanks for nothing. Come on, let's get out of here.
Why don't you sit down? You're making me nervous.
Yeah.
Miss Clark's right. Would you like a cup of coffee?
I'd like a shot of scotch if you want to know the truth.
Cream and sugar?
Black.
Do you have family, Lieutenant?
Yes, ma'am. I mean, miss. Back in Austin.
Oh. Are you going there to be with them?
I sure hope so, if there's time.
It's a terrible thing, I suppose. The little tragedies. We have time to absorb them. But something like this, it's too vast to comprehend.
I know what you mean.
Cut the chatter. What is this, a funeral?
You might call it that.
Well, I tell you one thing. The game isn't over till it's over. You never know what's going to happen at the finish.
This isn't a horse race, Mr. Hallam.
We'll see about that. Give me the coffee, will you?
Of course.
Yeah, tastes like mud.
If you'd rather have a soft drink.
Forget it.
Sorry you didn't care for it.
Yeah, sure. Where do you come off so high and mighty? Uniform, shine on your shoes. You know something? Underneath, you're just like the rest of us. Scared out of your gourd.
I'd better see how the general's coming along.
Will you sit down? It won't be much longer. Then you'll be back with your own kind.
I don't see why you're so anxious to go home. One of them in there could have a heart attack or something.
And then what would we do? Draw straws again to see which one of us goes?
Sure, why not?
At least try to face reality and make peace with it.
Listen, if they let me do it my way, you think I'd be sitting out here?
Oh, you mean you'd have fixed the cards?
Lady, when your life is on the line, you try anything.
Even if it means pain or misfortune for others?
If that's the way the chips fall.
You amaze me. I thought I'd seen all kinds.
You ain't never seen Jody Hallam before.
Thank God for small favors. I would say, Mr. Hallam, that you're nothing special on the evolutionary scale. More along the lines of a throwback. I mean, you've hardly advanced beyond your one-celled progenitors.
Say, is that a wisecrack?
I've seen your kind under microscopes. Bacteria don't have a conscience either.
Oh, but they do? In there? How do you know Vickers didn't fix it the way the general wanted?
Don't be absurd. It was impartial, and we lost. I'm ready to leave whenever they let me.
Go ahead, give up. That's what you learned in your school. But where I come from, it's a different story. General?
Yes?
General, I'm sorry I blew my stack before, but Well, it's a hard thing to take. It really hit me, you know?
Believe me, I understand.
Everybody all set?
They've had their final instructions.
Everything worked out, huh? No hitches?
Ladies and gentlemen, you'd better get ready for the pre-launch.
Look, do you think it would be all right if I see him to the ship? Wish everybody good luck and everything?
I don't see why not.
That doesn't sound like you, wishing everybody but yourself good luck.
No?
Why the change of heart?
Can't win them all. You ought to know that.
That's not what you told me before.
Well, that's what I'm telling you now.
Miss Blaze?
Yeah? Yes, sir?
We're going to the ship now. Follow me.
Sure thing.
Not you.
General Sinclair said it was okay.
Only flight personnel on the field.
I know. I'm going to say goodbye to him on the ship.
General?
It's all right, guards. Let him pass.
Proceed.
Sure, thanks a lot. Nice gun you got there.
15 minutes and counting.
Oh, you coming with us?
All unauthorized personnel must exit the launch area.
You'll have to use the ladder. One at a time, please.
Well, this is it. So long to the good old U.S. of A. It was a rat race, but I think I'm gonna miss it.
It just doesn't seem possible to think that all this will change in a few hours.
How much time?
Not long, by my watch.
The Varuna 1 is now on internal power.
Look at all those stars. Skies like this in Michigan. There's a place I used to fish at. I guess I won't see it again.
T-minus 10 minutes and counting.
We'd better get aboard.
All unauthorized personnel must exit the launch area.
Move ahead to the control room at the end of the passage. Guards, stay with us a moment longer. How long to lift off?
8 minutes. I'll give the engines a final check. Main thrusters powered up. Retros all clear. Gyro stabilizer charged.
I feel like a sardine already.
Relax, baby. This is one tin can nobody's gonna open.
Aren't you supposed to wave bye-bye now?
Let me have your attention.
This is it, Mr. Hallam.
Shh. I want to hear what he says.
President has asked me to extend his blessings and his hopes for a safe journey. Also, he's aware of the hardships that lie before you. He wants to remind you that in all the years to come, you must not lose sight of your purpose.
Guards.
There's a digital library.
See Mr. Hallam back to the building.
Yes, sir.
Each of you
Come
are
with
the
me.
seeds
In a
of
minute,
future
I said.
generations. It will be your trust to nurture the first generation born off Earth. For upon this, a new civilization will be built, long after we are forgotten.
This way.
Right. What kind of gun are you packing? 45 automatic, huh?
Keep moving.
Can I see it?
Keep your hands...
I just want to look at it.
What in the...
Back off!
Drop it.
Not on your life.
Watch him. He's got a gun.
Hold it! Now, General, since Dr. Jewell here won't be making the trip, as his reserve, I'm electing myself to take his place. He didn't want to go anyway.
Do you think these people would have you after this?
No more pretty speeches. You and the guards, make yourselves scarce, and drag the doctor with you. Something wrong with your hearing?
General.
Touch your holster, flyboy, and you're a dead man, too.
Do as he says.
That's better. Well, what do you know, honey? Looks like we're gonna get better acquainted after all.
What do we call you now? Little Caesar?
Just what do you expect to gain by this murder?
Life, my friend, in the big blue up there like the rest of you. Oh, I know you're thinking you'll make me pay, but you won't. Not if there's only 8 people left. You're gonna need me.
Keep your distance, Buster.
Now, Francie, you know better than that. A man gambles, he loses here and there, but the game's not over till the last card's been played. Am I right or am I right? Hey, you! Keep your hands where I can see them!
I can't let you do this.
Back out of here real slow like. You too, Lieutenant.
Are you going to shoot them too? If you do, who will fly the ship?
Back out, I said.
I'm not going anywhere.
Neither am I. Put the gun down.
Yeah, sure.
There are too many of us. Guards, Mr. Hallam is going to surrender his weapon. Take him into custody.
Yes, sir.
You're invading my space, flyboy.
You're surrounded, mister. Hand it over. Now.
Don't make me laugh.
If he won't, I'll just have to take it.
I warned you. The next one won't miss.
Try me for a target, little man.
Let go!
Drop it. Drop it!
Now look what you've done. That ain't in the rules.
Does he have a pulse?
No, sir.
Dr. Jewell, are you all right?
It's just my shoulder. The bullet passed through.
Guard, get the medical kit.
Right, General.
We won't be going anywhere, General. The second shot took out the control panel.
Can it be repaired?
Not the telemetry system.
Then replace the module.
There is no replacement. It would take days to assess the damage.
He's right, General.
Is that true?
You mean we can't take off?
How can we?
What are we going to do?
Yeah, what are we gonna do?
I wish I knew what to say to you.
Damn him! Just because he wasn't going...
He was right.
What?
He always said he was lucky. And maybe he was. Now he won't have to face the odds.
What's that? Whatever it is, he's sure in a hurry.
General, up here!
General, this just came in, sir, from the President.
I am happy to tell you all that the danger is past. The President informs me that gravitational forces in the solar system have apparently torn Wanderer apart.
You mean it's not gonna hit Earth?
Initial reports are that it is broken up into 5 pieces. Each will miss us by many thousands of miles.
Let's get out of here.
One at a time, folks.
Can I give you a hand, Miss Blaze?
You can give me 2 hands if you want. A big, brave captain like you. Call me Francine.
Okay. Francine, I'll help you down.
What about him, Mr. Big-Time Gambler?
There'll be an ambulance on the way.
He doesn't need an ambulance. He needs a hearse. Jody Hallam from Chicago. I got 3 words for you. So long, sucker.
Portrait of a man who lived by his wits and wanted to go on living. The odds looked good, at least for a while. But when billions were marked for death, he lost faith in the laws of chance. Jody Hallam, who played a desperate last card and ended up the only man on Earth to die as the direct result of a threat that never came true. In the Twilight Zone.
Pattern for Doomsday, starring Henry Rollins with Stacy Keach as your narrator, was adapted for radio by Dennis Etchison and written for The Twilight Zone by Jerry Soule. Heard in the cast were Mike Starr, Linda Ryder, Richard Hensel, Roderick Peoples, Jeff Lupetin, Jamie Barron, Steve Key, Nikki Lindgren, Elaine Robinson, Kurt Nabik, Jennifer Joy, Doug James, Carl Amari, Alex Opener, and Vince Amari. The producers of The Twilight Zone wish to thank CBS Enterprises and the Rod Serling Estate for making this series possible. This copyrighted radio series is produced and directed by Carl Amari for Falcon Picture Group. Sound design and custom Foley effects for The Twilight Zone by Cerny American creatives Bob Benson, Craig Lee, Michael Slaybach, and Matt Sorrow. To learn more about the Twilight Zone radio dramas and to contact us, visit our official website at twilightzoneradio.com. Doug James speaking.